Okay, so what if I told you that your retirement savings could be completely 100% finished by age 30? Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're going to break down a pretty mind-blowing mathematical strategy that can literally eliminate your need to save for retirement for the entire second half of your career. It's a concept that totally flips traditional personal finance on its head, and it relies on early action and the sheer, unstoppable force of compounding growth. So, if you're looking for a highly focused way to fundamentally change your financial trajectory, you are definitely in the right place. Let's dive in.
Section 1. The 40-Year Grind. You know the drill, right? Society has basically built up this exhausting expectation that from the minute you enter the workforce in your 20s, right up until the day you finally retire in your 60s, you just have to be continuously grinding. You earn, you carve out a little piece of each paycheck to save, and you just repeat that cycle over and over for 4 straight decades. But do you actually have to grind for 40 years? I mean, is this relentless cycle a hard rule of the universe, or is it just the default setting we've all been handed? When you're constantly feeling like you're playing catch-up, stepping off the hamster wheel feels impossible. But what if the math tells a totally different story?
There is just a stark contrast between these two paths. On one hand, you've got the traditional linear path where you're basically required to save forever. And on the other side, we have front-loading. And guys, this isn't just some minor budgeting trick. It's a massive structural shift in how we actually view time and money. Instead of pacing your savings out over 40 excruciating years, you pack all of the financial heavy lifting into the very beginning of your career, and then you just let momentum take over.
Moving on to Section 2, introducing Coastfire.
So Coastfire is an early, front-loaded investment strategy that mathematically eliminates the need to save in the latter half of your career. And the coast part of the name? It's completely literal. You put in the really hard work early on, you build up that momentum, and then you just take your foot completely off the gas pedal. You literally coast. It legitimizes this awesome idea that your savings phase can actually have a definitive early finish line.
Section 3. The Magic Math Equation. Now, you don't need a lottery ticket to make this work, and you definitely don't need magic. You really just need one mathematical hero, 1.07 raised to the power of time. This exact equation is the beating heart of the whole Coastfire strategy. That 1.07, that represents the compounding growth of your money. But the part doing all the heavy lifting is the exponent, time. The more time you give this equation, the more explosive the result becomes. And honestly, that is exactly why front-loading is so incredibly powerful. So let's see how this builds mechanically through 3 simple but wildly powerful steps. Step 1. Front-load the math early. You've got to get your money into the equation as soon as humanly possible. Step 2. Let time pass. Seriously, just step back and let the exponent do its job. And step 3, which is for sure the most liberating step of all, never add another dollar.
All right, Section 4, age 30 to 60.
Let's start at age 30. Based on the math from our source material, the target number we're looking at here is $197,000. If a person grinds early, saves aggressively, and successfully front-loads their investments so that they have exactly $197,000 invested by their 30th birthday, they have just crossed the Coastfire finish line. That's it. The active saving phase of their life is officially over.
Now fast forward and look at the jaw-dropping scale of the growth by age 60, $1.5 million. That initial $197K left entirely alone for 3 decades, compounds and multiplies until it becomes a cool $1.5 million by traditional retirement age.
I really want to pause right here and let this fully sink in. From age 30 to age 60, without adding another dollar. No more frantic budgeting to max out your retirement accounts in your 40s. No more stressing over saving percentages in your 50s. The heavy lifting is completely 100% finished. The math just took over.
Let's actually follow the life cycle of that initial investment across the decades. At age 30, boom, the active investment phase ends. From there, straight through age 40, it is just passive growth. By age 50, you're seeing continued exponential growth. And finally, at age 60, it reaches that $1.5 million mark. In this scenario, the math is acting as the true protagonist. It is working around the clock while the person is doing exactly 0 extra saving for 30 years.
Which brings us to Section 5, buying back your time. Ultimately, this math isn't really just about money. It's about what that money represents. It is about buying back your time. Because when you remove the obligation to aggressively save for your future during your 30s, your 40s, and your 50s, you suddenly unlock a massive amount of freedom in your present life.
There's a profound insight from the source material that sums this up perfectly. Buying back your time doesn't require a 40-year grind, it requires front-loading the math early. True freedom doesn't require you to exhaust yourself for a lifetime. It just requires you to be strategic so mathematics can actually work in your favor.
Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I really hope this mathematical shift leaves you feeling inspired about what is actually possible. Because think about it, if you structure your life to eliminate the need to save for 30 years, what will you do with all that bought-back time? Will you change careers? Work part-time? Travel the world? Spend more time with your family? Once you escape the 40-year grind, the rest of your life is entirely up to you.